In the bedroom, you can use many different toys to play with. Whether you're by yourself or whether you're with your partner, there's a whole variety of tools that you can choose from. And one of them is the famous vibrator. In this video, I am going to give you 3 reasons of why the vibrator is actually not very good for you. If you like this type of content and this video, then make sure to give it a thumbs up and please subscribe and ring the bell to make sure that you hear when the next video is online, as I'll be posting videos regularly. So let's start talking about vibrators and give you the first insight on why a vibrator might not help you to experience deeper pleasure and more orgasms. First of all, when it comes to the bedroom, a lot of women are not really in touch with what they like and what they don't like. Often when I ask the women that I work with, it's like, okay, what is really pleasurable for you? What brings you pleasure? Like, what helps you to increase the sensation that you have? And often the answer is like, I don't really know. Or when it comes to communicating to your partner what you like and what you don't like, often what I hear is like, I just don't really know what I like. I don't really know what turns me on. And what does that have to do with a vibrator? What happens when you use your vibrator is that it stimulates everything. So whether that you're using your vibrator to stimulate on the front side of your yoni, so to stimulate like your clitoris, what happens is that everything gets stimulated. So there's a lot of nerve endings around the clitoris, around your lips, even around the entrance of your yoni. And if you place your vibrator right there, it might feel really pleasurable and exciting, but everything gets stimulated at the same time, which doesn't make you realize what you like and what you don't like, because there's just one type of stimulation, maybe with, 3 different types of modes, like one interval experience and one faster and one slower, but it's not very specific. So if you feel into yourself and it's like, okay, what type of touch do you like on your lips, or what type of touch do you like around your clitoris? Is it like circles or pulling or pushing or like a certain motion or a certain form? And it's like, well, I don't really know, because I just have one type of stimulation that I always give myself. And the same is true for when you use a vibrator inside of you. It just gives stimulation to everything, which doesn't make you realize that maybe it's more pleasurable on the G-spot, or maybe your cervix is getting activated, and then there's a whole other range of pleasure spots along the vagina wall that you don't feel individually, because everything gets stimulated at the same time. Which brings me immediately to the second reason why the vibrator is not good for you, and this is that it overstimulates your nerve endings. So as I just mentioned, there's a lot of nerve endings around the whole yoni, around the clitoris, the lips, the entrance, inside. And these nerve endings can be very sensitive and give you very pleasurable sensations inside of the yoni. But the vibrator overstimulates them, which can result in you actually becoming more and more numb in your yoni. First of all, a lot of women don't have that many sensations in their yoni. So there can already be a feeling of numbness. And if you're using a vibrator, you're increasing that even more, because the nerve endings get stimulated so much that it is too much and it shuts down because it cannot handle that amount of stimulation. So if you feel that penetration feels like nice, but it's more of a mental turn on rather than like a deeply embodied, pleasurable, orgasmic experience, then you definitely don't want to use a vibrator, because it doesn't help you to create more sensitivity in your yoni. The third and last reason is that a vibrator gives a really unnatural type of stimulation. So if you like the sensations from your vibrator and the 1, the 2 and the 3, or maybe one of the modes, and that is what you're getting used to, and you find yourself not being satisfied in the bedroom by your partner, maybe you even find yourself complaining that your partner doesn't really know what to do down there, or what they do doesn't really feel pleasurable, And it's not so strange because you make yourself reliable on a very unnatural type of stimulation that your partner can never give you, and that also you can never give yourself if you're not using this thing that you put batteries in and starts like buzzing all around. So this unnatural type of stimulation, again, doesn't help you to be in touch with what you want. It doesn't help you to be more satisfied with whatever your partner gives you, because you are relying on an external source of pleasure, of an external source of stimulation that you cannot create within the intimacy between you and your partner, unless you're using this thing, but then you're relying always on your vibrator. So even if you feel that it's something that gives you a lot of pleasure, and maybe you feel like, but that is the only thing that brings me to orgasm. And it is exactly because of that, because you're so used to that kind of stimulation or overstimulation, that your yoni and your vagina wall doesn't warm up, doesn't build up to the more deeper, longer lasting and more intense orgasms that you can have. So if you love to be more orgasmic, to have more sensations, to have deeper orgasms, to enjoy deeper intimacy with your partner, those 3 reasons are very valid for you to stop using your vibrator. So what you can do is take out the batteries and still keep the vibrator in itself, but without the vibrating mode, and actually use that to start exploring more inside of your yoni. Even if you're watching this and you feel like, okay, but I never had an orgasm at all and I'm trying actually to use a vibrator to help me, then again, all of the previous reasons that I mentioned will only lead you to a more superficial orgasm, which is the clitoral orgasm. And knowing that there is a whole range of orgasms available to you, then you're going to stay limited to just a few seconds of orgasmic experience, and every single woman can experience deeper orgasms. It's not for the lucky few, it's not depending on the anatomy inside of you. Every woman can learn it, but the first thing is to let go of your vibrator, or at least the batteries of your vibrator. If you like this type of content that is helping you to feel more pleasure, to make sex a more enjoyable experience, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe and ring that bell so you know when the next video is uploaded. And feel free to drop in the comments how this information is for you.